Oh, I like.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So, I have an announcement to make. This is probably one of the best cars I have ever had, the Tamiya Durga DB01. As I've said in previous videos when I was building it and stuff, loads of guys had sort of told me how capable it was, and it's not a high-end racing buggy, but it's certainly sort of, what would you call it, lower to middle kind of entry-level racing buggy. But this thing is absolutely superb. So I've done a full running video on this, and I'll put that in the description in case you haven't seen it. So it was just a first run out, put a full battery through it, blasting it up and down on the tarmac, and then we got it on some loose gravel surface. And the thing is epic, it really is. I absolutely love it. So now, because this is kind of my, well, I don't want to call it daily runner, but this is kind of my main runner now, a car that I'm keeping, and I want to do lots too. So I want to get it right, and I don't want to make mistakes on the way of kind of breaking it in, mainly with the ball diffs and things like that. So in that first video, I purposely set the slipper clutch with way too much slip. But as I say, I did that on purpose because I wanted to put a full battery through it and then come back and check the diffs. So the purpose of this video is we're just going to have a quick once over of the diffs, and then we're going to get a battery charge and get it straight back out. The weather's pretty decent today, and we'll take the box spanner with us, and we'll just start nipping that slipper clutch up quarter of a turn at a time until we get it right. If you have watched that video, you'll see that if I was like setting off from a standing start, you could hear the slipper clutch whistle, you know, way up. It was quite a while before it grabbed. So I'm going to give another massive shout out to my buddy Lee. Lee's a racer, and he's my go-to person to ask how to set up. So I've had a quick conversation with him regarding how the diff should feel now and the slipper clutch. Now what he did say was, when you spin it and you give it a little bit of, you know, that, it should kind of stop after like half a turn. So these two just need tightening up ever so slightly to get it to that, but they're by no means loose. And another thing, and I don't know if this is the correct way to do it, but it's kind of what I've always known. If you hold the front end down so it's touching, hold the wheel and then turn it and see if any of either the front and back is slipping, the ball diffs are slipping, which are not. So that's awesome. So I am just going to nip them up ever so slightly. As I say, I'm not going to touch the slipper clutch just yet. I want to do that outside as we're running it up and down. So yeah, super excited to get this out again. As I say, the purpose of this video is just to get that slipper clutch sorted out, and we'll give it another run. We'll take the cones out with us again. I'm going to take a little bit off the steering this time because it was turning way too sharp, and sometimes you would lose the back end. So I'll take a little bit of steering off of it, and then we'll just see how it runs, with a view to just sort of upgrading it as we go. It's running the Tamiya 10.5 brushless combo with the TBLE O2 speedo. So it's not the greatest setup, but it is all Tamiya, which I wanted. But I remember when I made the video, I was saying, yeah, it's quick enough. And then afterwards in my head, I'm thinking, do I need to get another combo set for it, something a bit quicker? So I don't know. I was eyeing up silly. There was a combo in Australia on eBay. It was like £130, no, it might have been £150, 3.5 with 120 amp speedo. But I mean, that's just too quick, isn't it? I always do this. This is what I do. I make things too quick, and then the enjoyment goes out of it. Because this thing is perfect, it really is. Anyway, that's enough babble. I'll tighten these diffs up and then let's get it out. Right guys, so we're out. So as I say, I've tightened the diffs up and I'm following Lee's instructions. Now he said that the front should be slightly looser than the rear, and a good sort of rule of thumb is when you give it a good spin, it says basically half a turn. So according to that advice, the rear's cock on, the front is probably a full turn, but it's adjusted more. So as I say, what we're going to do now, we're going to just blast it around. I've got the spanner to adjust the sorry, that's when it stops beeping. So I've got a box spanner to adjust the that's the wrong size, the slipper clutch, and we'll just do it a quarter of a turn. What I'll do initially, we'll just get it running without the shell on so you can hear the slipper clutch and how bad it is. Now apparently for the slipper clutch adjustment, the rule of thumb again is it should stop slipping after about half a metre to a metre, where this thing's slipping for 20-30 foot. So yeah, let's get cracking with that. Right guys, so as I say, just listen to the slipper clutch noise. I'll try bring it close to the camera and then you can hear it. So that's slipping. Do it once more so you can hear it. Right, so let's just start bringing it in and making a little bit of adjustment. That's probably 3/4 of a turn. Let's try that. Again, we'll just do it from standing start. That didn't make a massive difference. Right, let's next adjustment. Oops. Let's try that. All right, you can. I don't know if you can hear that, guys, but that's definitely improving now. Do some more. Probably half a turn that time. It's still slipping a fair bit. It's another half a turn. Oh, that's made a difference. See if you can hear it. Oh, I'm liking that now. So now we've got to sort of get this in the half a metre to a metre range. That's very close, isn't it? I'm kind of thinking that's where it wants to be. That's probably at about a metre slipping. I'm guessing thereabouts. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, let's bring it in. We'll bang the shell on. We'll bang the GPS meter on as well because I just want to see what speed this is doing, and then we'll just have a rag around. Right guys, so shell's back on, GPS is strapped at side. I've just tested it at 15 kilometers an hour. So it'd just be interesting to see what this runs, the 10.5 runs at with the on 2S. I'm hoping for about 30 miles an hour. Love the brakes on this thing. But let's just give it one longer run. It's pretty much straight up to full speed, isn't it? Right, see what that registers. That's 48 kilometers an hour. Right guys, so that 48 kilometers an hour is just short of 30 miles an hour. It works out on the graph at like 29.822 miles an hour. So it's pretty much 30 miles an hour. If we increase that timing on that 10.5, we'd probably get it to around 31 miles an hour, 32 on 2S, which again I think's fast enough. So next thing now, I'll just take this back off and we'll just give it a rag around and then we'll get the cones out. I've also altered the steering, guys, I forgot to tell you. I've taken some of the steering angle off of it. Now don't forget, we're on slicks, so we haven't got the best of grip, but that's accelerating way better than it was. Way better. God, I love this car. I know I keep saying it, but you can really throw it about, and look at that, what I'm doing with steering. You don't lose it. This is one of the best Tamiya cars I've ever run, without a doubt. What do you guys think? Do you think it needs to be faster? We can always go crazy, but does it really need to be? 2S, 30 miles an hour for what I'm doing? Look at this brake. Love that. Considering it's only the TBLE02. Right, let's get the cones out because I don't want to bore you to death. Vantage point here is terrible, guys, unfortunately. And we've got a definite lack of grip, which is an issue. Oops. I need to do more of this stuff. Okay, that's not great, is it? The only bit I can do kind of smooth is the bit where it's coming towards me, where I can actually get the angles right. That bit. Ah! All you racers are absolutely laughing at me right now, aren't you, you swines? Well, we haven't hit a cone. Too wide on that corner every time because I can't judge it. Too fast there. See if we can do this a bit better. That was a bit tighter. Off the power. Touch the cone. Way too wide there. And again. Oh, there we go. There we go. The world goes to crap. Let's set the cones up differently for something a little bit different. Right guys, let's just try this. My vantage point is terrible. Whoa. Too trigger happy, aren't we? Okay, that's terrible. This should be a challenge on the Tamiya Legends Facebook group. So you can, like, we'll set a certain distance and a time and how many times you've got to do it, go around without hitting a cone. That'd be good fun. I'd obviously lose. Okay, we missed that one. Ah! Can't do it any faster than that, I'm afraid. Okay, I still hit that one. That was a bit quicker. Too wide round them. This is harder than it looks from where I'm stood. Right, I think what I'm going to do now, guys, because I've probably bored you enough, I'm going to just have a proper play with this thing because I'm absolutely in love with it. I've probably got about 90% of battery left. So, as I say, I don't want to bore you. God, I love this car. If you've bought a DB01, because you've been watching this series, you're going to be so happy when you get it out running. This thing is a little bit special. Well guys, that's another car finished. It's taken a while to get this to this stage, but as I keep saying, this is one of the best Tamiya buggies I've ever had, without a doubt. Now obviously it's way more modern than what I usually run around, but you can just tell that the technology is just there, the geometry, the setup on it, and you know, I mean, it's straight out of the box. My favourite car was always the Top Force, straight out of the box. I just absolutely loved it. And obviously it was a complete sort of vintage design, whereas this is way more modern, but again, straight out of the box. I mean, the hop-ups themselves, apart from the slipper clutch, that's the only one that was really needed. Carbon shock towers, they don't really do anything. TRF aeration shocks, I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to run it with the kit shocks to see if it's as good. I fitted those mainly for looks to match the TRF shell. But there's one thing that amazes me about this car, and this is only my perception of it from my YouTube channel and when I post on Facebook. It doesn't get a massive amount of love. So if you post pictures of it on Facebook, you know, the likes are a little bit down from if you put like an Aegis or a Avanti or something like that, something a little bit older. And the views on YouTube when I'm doing these on this car, they're always way lower than normal. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe you guys are just kind of, you prefer the older stuff, and I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, and I also know there's a lot of guys who have this and who have bought this. And I've not heard a bad word about it. I really haven't. It's absolutely fantastic car. The one thing I will say that I noticed, I did all that running footage was yesterday evening, and last night when I come out, I was just checking the footage with the view to make the ending of this video now in the morning, and the sound of the slipper clutch is way different on the video to what I could actually hear. So when I was happy with this car while I was making a video to what I could hear, but in actual fact, looking at that video, or listening to that video I should say, that slipper clutch wants nipping up another quarter, half a turn. I did check the ball diffs again when I come home, and they feel as they did. I don't think they've slipped any, but I've been told that just now probably run a few batteries through it. Those diffs will bed in, and then maybe after a couple of batteries just take the arms off, not the arms off, take the adjustment cups off so I can get in, take the drive shafts out and just nip those diffs up to where they want to be. So guys, yeah, I'm really interested in what, or if you want to see anything else of this car, because as I say, this is kind of done with now. This is finished, it's ready to run at my leisure. So I'm not planning on posting any more stuff with this car, but is there anything you want me to do to this car? The only thing I'm kind of not, there's something nagging at me saying it needs to be a little bit quicker. So it's pretty much 30 miles an hour now. Again, it's all about the style of running I do. I don't have any race clubs or race tracks near me. I don't even have a BMX track near me. So I've got loose gravel and tarmac. That's my only options here. But yeah, I mean, does it want to be a little bit quicker? I've got the cheapo combo, the 4370 that I could put in it, but whatever I put in it, I want to keep in here so I can just pick this car up at any time, charge a battery and run it. I don't want to be changing electrics. And the 4370 is kind of my universal combo that I just bang in something that can handle it. So I don't really want to fix it. So I'm debating whether to buy something else from it. So I'll be interested to hear. Now I know this Tamiya 10.5 brushless motor is not the best, and obviously it's running on the TBL E02 Speedo. So I'm wondering, do I just buy a much better quality 10.5 brushless system, something with more adjustment, get a program card for it and whatever? Because, you know, I only need to go up probably 5-6 miles an hour. You know, if you're running at 36 miles an hour, that's a hell of a difference from 30. And if it's accelerating at the same. Now that is running a 23 tooth pinion, which is the biggest. You also get a 16 in the kit. And I was watching a video last night with someone who had it was either a 16 or a 17 with this 10.5 motor. And it looked to accelerate way quicker than this, and I was impressed with how this accelerated. Now obviously you lose a lot of top end, but if I got a better quality motor and speedo, I could come down in pinion size, get way better acceleration, and with the extra RPM of that motor, then probably not lose too much off the top end. I don't know. So I'll be interested to see what you guys think. So I'll end this video here. So once again guys, thanks so much for watching, it's really appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing, and if you do that, smash that notification bell for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy RCing.